everyone, welcome back to part 2 of actually this is like part 4 really of this unboxing, if you will, of jewelry that I am still going through. I am almost finished, thank goodness. And in a second we are going to get into looking at what is left to go through. This is the good stuff that is going to either be sold, either I need to do more research on it or things can be sold separately. And then over here I have the real gold, the real silver stuff. And so far I haven't found anything additional that's gold or silver, but honestly, it's not unexpected, but it should not be expected because you expect people to go through and really make sure that they take out the things that I guess are more of value, but everyone has a different idea of what value is. So let's get directly into this. So this is what they call a thermostat or thermoset. I don't know which one is correct. I would have to look it up. That's what they call this particular like style with this type of faux stone, if you will. And you open it up inside. This piece is probably from, I'm going to say, the 1970s. I don't believe it's from the 60s just because it's way too chunky. If it was half the size, especially because of the pretty little flowers. So this kind of, for me, dates probably about early 1970s. And this is actually complete, which is honestly very shocking. Usually one of these, if not more, are missing. And for this is definitely something you could sell as a separate item. When I opened this up, I did not see a maker's name, but I wonder, yeah, I doubt it. Because the stuff that was made in Germany, aka West Germany, especially always said that because of the treaty that we had with them. But this does remind me of something that, or either Vendome, Vendome, which was a really high quality costume jewelry maker. This reminds me of their style, but it's not because they always signed their stuff. So put that over there. And then let's see what this is, just because it fell over with that. And this is marked 925, and it also has a maker's name on it and some other wording. So let's take our trusty magnet and hope it does not stick or have any attraction. And guess what? It has no stickiness, no attraction. Now let's test. Oh, so something within the clasp, or maybe, no, it has to be the clasp is not real, but the rest of it is silver. So odd when they do that. I don't know why you would like crap out on such a tiny thing, such as, unless it broke and it was replaced, because these normally would have the silver mark on it also. And this does not have the silver mark. Plus I could tell that this piece is a replacement, but the rest of it is original. So what I would do is I would take a clasp off of something that is real silver that's in my junk silver pile and put it on this, and then take this and put it into my junk pile. So that way this is all 100% silver. So I am going to put it in my silver and gold pile, but over to the side so that I can remember to do that. And here is a tiger's eye. I'm sure many people recognize that from the 60s and the 70s. This one has a funky slant on it. Literally, it has a funky slant. And let's see if it has a signature, and I could tell from here it says Sarah Cov. And you can date Sarah Coventry pieces by how they're signed, because some of them are Sarah Cov, some are Sarah Coventry, some of them are SAR, COV. Like there's so many different ways that they were signed over the years. And the cool thing about this, it has a security chain on it. And we know that Sarah Coventry, 90% of the things that she made, if not more, were costume jewelry. And this is absolutely a stunner. The stone is loose, but I do like the fact that it's not glued in. It is, has I call it this claw action, holding it in. I would have to check to see if this is, touching it, this is cold. But it could be that it is not jade. My hope is that it is jade. I don't think it's jade, but it could be a fancy glass or, oh my God, what is the name of that stone that is so common in jewelry? If you know what it is, please type it down in the comments below. It slips my mind right now. But this does have a great, like, crossed, sort of open work of, like, chaining that's done here. I don't see any name on this, which is kind of surprise. I'm always surprised when something, it takes this much work and there's no signature, but it is what it is. A lot of costume jewelry was never ever signed. And this will definitely go into this pile because I can simply add a cool chain to that. And it's a stunner #1 superstar as well. This is just a little scatter pin or pin versus brooch. It is not real gold. I can just tell by touching it, looking at it, etc. And it has no signature. And I'm actually going to put this over here in my craft pile because I can use this on my charm strings. I could string it right through there. So that's going there. And here are a pair of what I consider to be almost common dangler costume jewelry, earrings, pierced. These are not real pearls at all. I gave you guys information in the previous video how you can figure that out if something is a real pearl or not quickly. And these actually will go over into my junk pile. And oh my God, guess what I just picked up? I don't know for sure. It says AH on it, which is clearly written, which is kind of suspicious. It says AH. Never heard of them before, so I'd have to look them up. And I feel as if this is gold. That's why I got slightly excited. And it says 14 karat. Now I have to hold it closer to my face to see the rest of the wording. 14 karat Italy is what it says on that side. The other side says the same exact thing. So this is claiming to be 14 karat gold from Italy. And you know me, we're going to do a quick camera, a quick test on camera with the magnet. So let's hope it does not react. 0 reaction, which makes me very happy. And let's check the clasp. Ooh, there's some action there. See that? So that's so, it's so wrong. So the chain is probably real. I could tell just by touching this chain that it's real. And also we would do an acid test on this because we have this not favorable reaction with this part right here. The rest of it from here all the way down, awesome. This is the culprit. And that's what they will do. And that's the other thing. When you're buying jewelry from a jewelry store, online, one of those TV shows or whatever, break out your magnet. And if you find that this part is magnetized, but the rest of it isn't, that's because they're trying to cheat you. They're trying to, because they know that most people probably will look at this part of it, but a lot of people don't pay attention to this part. And this is way thicker than the rest of this. So when you're buying, you think you're getting one thing and you're actually not. You're partially getting what you thought you were getting. And what I do like about this is this weave that they have. There's 4 strands that make this up. And this would sell nicely on its own. The thing that I would have to disclose is that this clasp mechanism right here is not authentic. And let's see if it has a gold mark on it. I bet it doesn't because it should not. But if it's real, it should, and it usually, and I'm saying 99.5% of the time, it always does. You have to sometimes look at this little piece right in there, and sometimes, obviously, it's stamped boldly right here, and I do see a little something right there. Let me look at it through my loop and see what I can see. And lo and behold, it says 14K. Okay, we know that is a blanking lie. So what I would have to do to sell this is me because, hello, I have scruples, is I would remove this part, replace it with a real gold clasp, make sure it's also 14 karat gold, and then sell this as a 14 karat gold piece. Otherwise, you could sell it as a 14 karat gold piece, but you have to take this off, then sell it. Of course, you want to weigh it without this little piece as well. So that will also go to the side for adjustments. And it could, but the thing is, the reason I know that this one is a cheat is because it says 14K on the little clasp. If the person that previously owned this stuff maybe did their own repair, which happens all the time, then of course they might use a piece. They're just thinking, let me fix my bracelet, necklace, whatever. Fine. But I think that this person unfortunately was cheated because that piece actually says 14K on it and it should not. So here's another pin. Obviously it's a dangler with a little bell on it. And surprisingly, because usually things like this are not signed, it does have a lot of writing on the back of it. Let's see what it says. It says, I'm holding it upside down. I don't know if I could read this without putting my face to it. Apologies. It says T-U-S-T-I, I believe, or T-O-S-T-I. And then on the other side, it says Gigi, G-I-G-I. I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it came from somewhere in Italy. I don't know. So I would have to do more research on that. And obviously this I would probably sell either, I don't know. I think is this supposed to be Jesus or an angel or just an angel? I don't know. But I'm putting that in the good pile. And here we have another beautiful item. It's not anywhere near as old as our beautiful blue enameled item, which is turning out to be the oldest piece in here. But if you flip it over, I felt this hinge, so I assumed that this was something else. And oh, it's like one of those perfume or scent holders. And let's see if this smells like, my grandmother never wore those grandma perfumes like this, but yeah, it still has a little bit of scent to it. It's actually not bad. It's very light because who knows how old this is. I think this is probably, once again, from the 1970s, maybe the end of the 60s. I don't even think so. I do think, actually, it could be from the end of the 60s. Definitely early 70s. It has almost that brutalist mid-century modern design that I've talked about. It has these three very prominent rhinestones, and obviously this is a pendant, so it would hang off of a necklace chain. It would have to be a pretty hardy necklace chain because this must weigh, like, I couldn't even tell you how many ounces. Let me see, you know me, take out the trusty scale and see what we end up with. Turn to 0 so I can measure. And how many, so that's 37 grams, right? Actually, because I'm holding it, it's flipping the numbers about. Okay, so it's like 35 grams. So that's a pretty hefty piece. So the chain on that would have to be really thick. And there is no chain in here, so that's one of the things where you decide, do I sell it as a pendant? Other positives about this is that it's a scent holder. I don't see the name of a maker on this, which, like I said, I'm always surprised when this much work goes into something. Makers, sign your names. Take pride in your work. Decades later, people will wonder. And this, I could tell immediately because I saw a little thing sticking out, is a tape measure. So yes, when you buy this type of stuff, there's all kind of miscellaneous stuff in there. And this is a beautiful brooch, butterfly wings that are made would feel like jade on one side because it's cold, so it's definitely a stone. And this is for a necklace, and once again, no signature. And wow, I'm surprised that the eyes actually stayed glued in after. This has to be, once again, something from the set. So you could tell this person pretty much came into their own probably in the 60s, definitely in the, I would say the late 60s into the 70s, because that's a lot of this stuff is dating from that era. And at one point, they obviously must have had, what, clip-ons, so they did not have pierced ears. And later on, they had a couple pairs in here anyway. All this stuff that we've seen over these videos, there were some pierced earrings in there. So eventually they had pierced ears. These are not signed, which I honestly thought they would be. I thought these would be Trifari, for example, but they're not signed, but they are nice clip-ons, so we put those in the keep pile. And what else do we have going on in here? Another, what feels like, looks like, acts like, is marked as if it is a silver chain, but once again, this part I suspect is not real because it has no silver markings on it. So let's see what happens. So the chain is real. And let's see if I'm right about the clasp. The clasp is not real. And I checked it this time back and front to see if it was marked. It's not. So once again, it's similar to that other necklace. So like I said, it could be a case of where this person, when their items broke, they did their own repairs on them, or sometimes if you take them to the jewelry store to be repaired, you need to make sure that the material matches what you had in the first place, because, sorry, unscrupulous people, even the folks at the funeral home, if your folks had gold teeth in their mouth, guess what? I bet you they don't have them when they're buried. I actually have a friend that works for a smelting company, and they mostly in her department do recovery. And she's like, you'd be shocked how many funeral homes we actually deal with. And I'm like, well, what are they bringing in there? Like, I couldn't even imagine. And she's like, just if your folks have gold teeth, platinum teeth, I guess is a thing now. She's like, yeah, that's what they're bringing in. They get a lot of teeth. So, or not teeth, but the caps that are put on teeth. So if you guys, you know, want to make sure that your loved one is respected, make sure that the funeral home is not stealing the gold teeth out of their mouth. But with jewelry, same thing. When you take it into a jeweler to be repaired, make sure that if you're having a clasp replaced, which is a common thing, make sure that this is also the same metal as the rest of your jewelry. Otherwise, they just ripped you off. They just got to keep your sterling silver, gold, platinum clasp and replaced it with, you know, a junk metal. So let's see how this one reacts. And there is no reaction to the magnet, which is good. And let's see how the clasp reacts. And just as I suspected, because I saw it wasn't signed, it's the same situation as the others that we saw. So we have silver, but then we have clasp that are not authentic. But like I said, it could be that this person replaced them themselves, or hopefully they didn't take them to a jeweler and get ripped off. But my God, they had a lot of silver necklaces, because here's another one. So let's check this one out. There's no reaction to the magnet there. But once again, the clasp is not real. Wow, that's really different. And here, this might, what I do when I have small pieces like this, I'll move them up here, is I will take and put them in a pile and run the magnet through everything to see what sticks. You stuck, and the rest is probably real. So let's just look at these and see what's on the back, if anything. This one actually says STER. That's not how we mark our pieces in America. This piece also has a marking. This one actually says 925 on it, but these two are not real. They stuck to the magnet, but I will put them in my good pile, because as far as being pendants, they are pretty cool, but you just can't sell them as silver. And people do test, so don't try to rip someone off because you will end up having strikes against you on resale platforms. This one says 925. I'm going to put the magnet on that again and see this one sticks. So that's the other thing. Try them individually as well. This one is not sticking at all. Wait, did it stick? That's the back of an earring. This one, so I don't believe any of these are real, other than maybe the bear. So the bear we will test further because for some reason it doesn't want to stick, but I don't know if it's real or not, but I'll put that on the side and that will be tested later. Now we just have some bits and bobs in here. This is part of a necklace. We do have more earrings. These are, yep, more clip-ons. Like I said, just make sure they're really clean. Are they signed? I see no signatures. And I believe this is from that 1928 or 1929 series that was sold by Macy's. Looks just like that type of stuff. And you can actually do some research to find out further. This is a piece by Jerry's. I can clearly see the name. Christmas tree. These are very popular as far as being sold separately by Jerry's. So if you come into those, you know what you have. And here's another scarabed piece. And this actually is by, it has the maker's name in it. And it says Viviana. I know nothing about Viviana. And it has a Japanese movement in it. And you want to see if all of the little, see this one is missing. But we had, from the other day, this one, and they're almost exactly the same. So what I would do is take one of these off of here, make sure it's not a, like if they have all different colors, use a color that's not present. Like I don't see black on here. So I would take the black one and use my jewelry glue, which is a special glue for just for costume jewelry. You want to make sure you're using the right glue, otherwise it will definitely fall off. And I would just replace that. And I'm going to do some research just to see if this is worth selling on its own. It might be. And obviously it needs a battery. We talked about what to do with pieces like that. And about replacing batteries, etc. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? This is another Jerry's piece. And there you go. And here, this might be another Jerry. This person definitely, yep, another Jerry's piece. That's so cool that they had a brand that they actually liked that much. And, oh, look at that. This is probably the black scarab piece that belongs in that watch. And this is the same type of chain as one of them over there. And I will not waste your time using the magnet on it. But I could tell that this clasp is not real because it's not marked, is one thing. And there you go. And this part is real. So put that over on the side. And if you're selling like your silver and gold as scrap, just take the bad parts off. You don't need to make any repairs or anything like that. And I could tell this is like probably made in West Germany. There's this metal that they were using after the war when West Germany was annexed, or whatever the word is, by the United States and other countries. And this is definitely what that metal is. It's not real silver. Like I said, for many years, I already know that. And so that will go, probably, I'm going to put it in my pile of things because I have those charms, or I don't know what to call them, but I'm calling them charms or pendants that we could actually put on that and maybe sell the whole thing as one lot, if you will. Or I'm going to take that and all of the little charms that are not real silver and just put them in my junk pile. Honestly, that's probably what's going to happen. And this is marcasite. So we have marcasite here, and usually that means we have silver. Is there a silver mark? I see something, but I don't know what it says because it's so tiny. So let's take our magnet, 0 magnification, And now let me look at it closer. You know me, I have to bring it up to my face. And it does say 925. It's really small though, which is really weird when you have all of this space down here. And the other thing with these is you want to check to make sure like this part is also the right metal. And these should also be marked with a silver mark, which this one is. It's right here, 925. And if not, replace it with a real silver backing. It's that easy. And actually, there's a pair, so didn't even expect that. So the lady, I was told that this was a better lot, and I was surprised, but it is a better lot. So how much do you guys think I spent? Yes, this is part 2 of a video. So we're actually in video number part 3 and part 4, which is this is part 4. How much do you think I paid for all of this collectively? Okay, you know this is not real. That goes to my craft pile. Did you type it down in the comments? Because this is the answer. So type it down in the comments. I'll give you just another moment. And remember that earring we had? Here's the other one. So those are a pair. They don't have backings though. So I have extra backings that are new. And I usually always put, you know, fresh backings on the back unless the others are perfect. And here we have, wow, I think this looks like a sterling silver chain, and this part around the crystal appears to be sterling silver, and it's a mechanical watch, but it's seized. I can tell because I can't wind it anymore, but it probably will take me a lifetime, not really, but more minutes than you want to wait for me to find the silver mark on this, if there is a silver mark. So let's do a quick magnet test. It is not silver. It looks just like silver, but it's definitely not. It is an old watch. Let me see if I can find a maker's name. And in the meantime, since you typed your answer in the comments, because you guys are awesome like that, that is what I paid for the items in video number 3 and video number 4. Oh, this is an Elgin, E-L-J-I-N. I'm sorry, E-L-G-I-N. So this is a really old Elgin watch. So an old Elgin watch has more value than like an old, I don't know, let's just say, I can't think of a name right now, but an old Burris watch, for example. So this is something that you would want to definitely do research on and see if it's worth the effort of selling separately. And I think these are, because I've seen the old ones like this, the mechanical ones. The only thing is this one is seized, so that, you know, might be a factor in it all. And this is just one giant necklace with semi-precious stones, and all of them have been individually drilled and have a finding on it to attach to this larger, thicker chain. And I just noticed that all of this is connected together. So you have the earrings and you have a bracelet, and the bracelet has that bungee stuff that I hate in it. The necklace, thank God, does not have the bungee stuff. So this could have been made by a crafts person, or maybe it was, you know, sold by a retailer. I don't know. This actually seems like a lot of work. So for this, and especially with all of the different stones in it, you know, this is something that we should, you know, research. See if it's something that makes sense to sell as a jewelry suite. A jewelry suite is when you have your earrings, your necklace, and your bracelet. So that's what this is. Like I said, the only thing I don't like and that cheapens it is this bungee stuff. So I might just sell the earrings and the necklace as a set, because that is what a set is when there's only 2 things. And then what I might do with this is take this apart and use this in my own craft projects. Because that would be pretty cool, probably, to add a little color to a charm string, maybe. So we'll put that to the side. And we have this pendant, which obviously is in the shape of a heart, pierced in design. And and you have to also look inside of this, because sometimes the metal marking is inside of this, or sometimes even the name, but more commonly the metal marking. Now, touching this, I really don't think it's sterling silver, but hello, it's close enough for us to suspect. And it's not magnetizing, which is really weird. But this is one that you would definitely do a test on to see if it's real silver or not. And like I said, I don't see any markings on it. But if there are no markings on this, if it's not real silver, then this is another piece I would say for my craft projects. So I'll just put that to the side with the teddy bear to be tested. Here is a novelty piece. The thing with some of the novelty pieces like this, it says friends on the back, is some of them actually do have okay value, so you want to check that out. And here's another little pendant thing, which I'm just going to throw with the junk jewelry because I feel like it's not real. And as I suspected, not real. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save those little pendants for my charm string project. So I'll take them out and use them for that. And here is another, of course, we're almost finished. And guess what? A cute little dog, I guess a terrier, or actually it's more like a poodle, and another Jerry's piece. So that's kind of weird that we're almost ending on that. And then here, what do we have? We have a nice chunky 1960s style necklace, because in the 60s, I have no idea why they love this stuff so much. Normally they're not signed. That is also the fact with this one, not signed, no designer hang tag on it, but very